Yes, that is indeed correct. We are rolling barbecue and in rest period. Okay. Think we are about there. Um, Time to speed things up a little bit. And there's the Earth after just one day, not even, after 11 hours, roughly. There's the Earth. Rest period ends at 22 hours, and we're chilling at about 15 right now. Going time factor 100. So we'll be getting there. We will be getting there. Let's see here. Earth whizzing by. Occasionally we get a nice glimpse of the sun. "17 hours. "18 hours. Coming up on 19 hours now. Time factor 100 just to get us through this rest period. "19 hours. 20. $21. $22. $22, 30 minutes. This is exactly where we want to be. Earth coming up in the window. Rest period over. Let's begin preparations. Now, once again, 1 second. There we go. That's the higher quality sound that we like to see. GDC and IMU are perfectly aligned, so we can omit. Potable water heater is back online. AB, 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 B, A, A, B, A, B, B, A. And we've got our RCS back up. There's the Earth in the window. And we're awake now. Would be the time we would be brushing our teeth, shaving, eating, you know, whatever it is astronauts do when they first wake up. And they graciously give us about a 2-hour period to do that. So we can, of course, move forward. And today it's going to be mostly housekeeping procedures. We're going to have a ton of cislunar navigation program to do, and potentially a mid-course. We'll see at about 25 hours, 30 minutes, anywhere between 25 hours and 25 hours, 30 minutes. If it is required to do the mid-course correction, the RTCC and the mission control will send that up to us. If not, we will do an uplink and enter PTC. And if so, we will do the burn, then enter PTC. And that's going to be copied later, our lunar flyby pad. Just in case we cannot do LOI, this will be the pad that we would initiate. And that's going to happen before day 3. At day 3, we get our mid-course correction 3 decision, and we do LEM familiarization. So that's a pretty cool one. And by pretty cool, I mean we just chill in the LEM and familiarize ourselves, check out certain systems, comm systems, you know, that sort of thing. But it is nice to be in the LEM. It gives you much more space, it feels like. So cruise along now, and we'll begin our fuel cell O2 purge in a few seconds. So here we can begin our fuel cell O2 purge. Each fuel cell requires 2 minutes of purge. And for me, I like to employ time skipping. I know some people, like Old Man Rebel, they don't enjoy time skipping. I personally enjoy it because otherwise these missions would take me a lifetime to complete. A ridiculously long amount of time, so I'm going to employ time skipping as always. The portable tape player is not in the sim. You're thinking of Reentry. The sim's a little more intense than Reentry. And by a little, I do mean a lot. So unfortunately, we don't have the portable tape player. This sim was made significantly before Reentry was, so it's still getting updated, but things like that are probably, well, they're not prioritized, so. Thanks. Okay. Rotation's nulled. PTC is terminated successfully at this time. We can now initiate a P52. RefSmat, reference to stable member matrix update. There we go. Good. Verb 22, option 3. Yeah, a lot of housekeeping to do today. This procedure is in Reentry. It's a little bit different than it would be in real life. This follows the exact real life procedure. So it is slightly different, but this exact procedure we're doing now is in Reentry. In a few moments, the procedures we're going to be doing are not in Reentry, but are in here. And my God, they're headache-inducing, and you'll be seeing that. If you have epilepsy, I highly recommend that you tell me now, because if you do have epilepsy, I will omit those procedures, and instead I will just uplink a new state vector with RTCC. So if anyone has epilepsy, please tell me now, because our optics are going to be on slowsing mode, which is a flickering of 2 images really rapidly. So please tell me if you do have epilepsy. If not, we'll do the very annoying procedures that are not in Reentry, but are here. And if you do have epilepsy, let me know, and we will omit those procedures, and I will manually load those in using the real-time computer complex. Okay, it looks like no one has told me they have epilepsy. I'll keep a lookout, though. If you don't know you have epilepsy and you start getting a headache from the procedures we're going to be doing, just please let me know. It's okay. I am not a huge fan of the procedure anyways. It's just something we just have to do. So yeah, do absolutely let me know if the flickering is giving you a headache or anything like that, and I'll always keep a watch on it. So just, yeah, keep me informed. The health of the viewer is very important. Okay. Verb 37, enter. 23, enter. Verb 25, we're going to be marking on star 2. No landmarks. And our option's going to be Earth near horizon. Proceed. Good. Proceed. Auto maneuver start.
Translation.
Okay, looking good. Mark. Proceed. All right, looks good. Proceed to accept. First star is complete. I go put on some nice background music. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, we don't have the LEM unlocked right now. But if you would like, I can cheat into the LEM. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But if I had to guess, it think it's I think it was one of these. I think it might be the camera sequence circuit breaker. It was definitely one of these on the bottom row, that I know. I think it's camera sequence. I don't exactly remember though. But I think it was the camera sequence circuit breaker. I know it was in the LEM. I don't remember which circuit breaker was, but I'm pretty sure it was camera sequence. For whatever reason, we can't locate this particular star. So we will skip this one. And we'll move to star 44. Oh, I know why. Yes, I know why. It was, no, it was Earth Near Horizon. All right, star 44 and Earth Far Horizon. Proceed. That was in Apollo 12, I thought. I might be wrong about that, but if it's that one I'm thinking of, I know one of the circuit breakers broke on Apollo 11. Pretty sure it's camera sequence, and I thought it was Apollo 12 where they broke the arming switch off, and so they had to stick a pen in here to flip the switch up. That I remember. That I absolutely remember. I want to say that was Apollo 12. Um, want to say that was Apollo 12. Why are none of these stars? The LEM. Oh, it's the LEM covering it. Oh, I understand. Okay, hold on. There it is. It was Apollo 11, okay. Maybe it was Apollo... Son of a... Stupid fucking LEM. Maybe it was Apollo 12 that had the broken circuit breaker. A stupid fucking LEM is blocking it again. Oh yeah, they write pretty fast. A lot of the procedures they have were already in the books, but modified procedures from like Apollo 13. I usually fall asleep to Apollo 13 in real time. I find it very relaxing. Yeah, I remember they had this whole problem with the LEM blocking the star, and so they found a different, or they used a different procedure that ended up not working, and they thought the astronauts were doing something wrong, but they weren't. And it was the procedures guy that was doing things wrong. Yeah, I remember hearing that on Apollo 11. All the problems they had with this because of the LEM. I don't think that's going to be high enough. Nope, it is close though. So we will retake that, of course. This time we will maneuver to a better attitude for this. Little bit more. That should be right on the money. Yeah, I do the same thing. There we go. That's much better. I'm thinking about right here should be good. Ah, fuck. It's close. This one's actually about right here, I believe. But, you know, we're going to actually double check by doing this. Nothing much. There's no tutorials or anything I need to post since I've done all of them already. Yes, this is a good spot right here. I swear, if this comes up that it's not right, I'm gonna be so mad. I even checked it and everything by superimposing the lines. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus. Thank you. Ah. P-23s, they're the bane of my existence. I would listen to Apollo 17 in real time, but the website doesn't work on mobile. The 17 in real time. And I'm not gonna have my computer consuming, you know, a kilowatt while I'm sleeping. It's me kilowatt hour while I'm sleeping. It's way too much power just for that. So Apollo 13 on my phone. It's usually what I do. Do you remember that one time in the Apollo tapes where some random person from Mexico somehow got into the like call center that was bouncing all the communications around, and you could hear his random Spanish person talking? I remember that, and I don't know where I heard it, and I really want to know now because it was the funniest thing when it happened. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, the all the audio that you hear, um, that is all done by a basically ginormous call center system. In the background of the Apollo tapes, you can always hear that is the dialing thing that routes all of those stations together and all that audio together and broadcasts it over the radio and links all the different capcoms, and all of that is done through a basically a much more complex version of a call center. It's a electronic switching system. Look at that. It looks like we are getting a mid-course correction today. Alrighty. Grab our uplink. This is an SPS mid-course correction. Yes, the calls between the Capcom and the astronauts' wives, those are all recorded in there because they were made over the little dial. You can dial numbers on each mission control panel. So every once in a while you hear and then people just having a random conversation about how the astronauts are doing, and this happens a lot in Apollo 13. The guy was from Madrid. I believe it was from Apollo 12. Okay, I'll have a look at it. So we did get our state vector update and our target load, and we'll do manual verb 66. And when is this burn for? 26 hours, 44 minutes, 41.83 seconds. Okay. Copy that. So we'll time skip near the procedure then. Okay. Verb 37, enter. 30, enter. 26, 44, 41.82. 41.83, that's good enough. Minus 3.5, minus 0.6, minus 4.4, good. So we're heading just a little too fast towards the moon. And periapsis prediction is good. Time to burn. 26 minutes, or 29 minutes, that is. SMRCS check. looks good. Terminate battery charge. Battery charge terminated. And let's see the manifold. For alpha, manifold is 0. So we will omit battery event. Caution and warning, check out. Good. SPS engine does not need any preheating. And we'll be burning on bank B for this. And let's do a delta V test. Good. Yeah, the computer is absolutely one of my favorite systems. The computer alone has more cable than AT&T. Just a fun fact. SPS thrusting complete. Let's see, test was good, and we'll set DVC. So delta V compensated for cutoff is +2. Okay. Non-essentials to main bus B. And we are rate 2. Delta V center of gravity is LMCSM. And since it's SPS burn with program 40, we will activate all auto RCS switches. We will do 2, 1, 1. Since there's no ullage, 1, 1, 0, 2. 2, 1, 1, 0, 2. And our lowest is still BD, so we will use AC roll. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Good. Proceed. Our weight is 63,536 pounds. Lunar module weight is 33,773 pounds. Proceed. And our gimbal angles for the burn are 0.1 roughly and minus 0.2 roughly. Verb 46. DAP is activated. And we'll just basically do the equivalent of hitting F5. Is there any point where reentry incorporates this level? No. No, there will not be. Petrie has already said that reentry is supposed to be sort of the starting block. It's supposed to be more of a game than a simulator. It's meant to bridge, right? What this community desperately needs is a bridge between something like this and having absolutely no experience. And that is the niche that reentry is trying to build. So roll 252, pitch 167, and yaw 339. And these videos, I hope to bridge the gap between reentry and NASP for new people. We are entering the sweet, sweet burn attitude now. And there we are, in attitude for the burn. This is going to be a very anticlimactic burn today, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Now 91. Our sextant star check is a shaft of 138.90 and a trunnion of 11.9. And we will be looking at star 24. Star 24 is in sextant. Good. Okay, at T-minus 10 minutes, we'll begin our program 40 load for the SPS burn. So we're about this far away from the Earth at the moment. That is, we are currently at an altitude of 201.1 megameters. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I'd be comfortable in all of them. In the LEM, I would be more comfortable in the pilot seat than I would the commander seat, but I feel like I'd be comfortable in all of them. Of course, in terms of landing on the moon itself, haven't done it in a while since I've been focusing on 7 and 8 for a bit, so of course I'll need some sim time, but given the same amount of or very similar amount of time, probably even less time in the sim than the astronauts had, I feel like I could pull it off. Transfer to program 40. Apollo 13, maybe not. Yeah, Apollo 13, probably not, but I've never done it, so we'll see. We will have to see. Of course, I've had a lot more time learning to fly these than the astronauts have. So I am at a slight bit of an unfair advantage. T-minus 5 minutes. Good. No manual thrust vector control. All checks out. Good. Pad values were -1. or sorry, +1. That was +1. Yep. +1 and minus 0.2. Manual thrust vector control checks out okay. Port handle back to neutral. And we will re-transfer guidance back to program 40. Fantastic. Computer gimbal check. Looks good. And now the computer will load the trim. Good. 50-15, rate high. And we are going to go against what the checklist says. We will be burning on bank B instead. In order to keep uniform weight. So bank is armed. Disky blank. And we do not have any ullage for this burn. EMS norm. Nine, 8, 7, 6, verb 99, proceed, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and cutoff. All right. Engine safing procedures. Engine is safe. Trim x-axis only.
Translation.
All right, x-axis is trimmed.
Rotation.
$66.9, right on the dot. Perfect. All right, A and B levels are good. They are perfectly balanced with each other. Give us a verb 66 and a charge of battery A. Still on AC. That's fine. $255. Let's do 09000 and all zeros. Entering PTC attitude now. The PTC attitude out to the moon is great because we do get to Earth in the windows, which is really nice. But here we are in the attitude. Command module stabilized. We'll begin our PTC now. And we'll essentially do the equivalent of hitting F5. CMC auto 5112. Our DAP load is 21101. And 11111. We are in attitude already. And so now we just need to sit here. So BD are the lowest quads. So we will remain in position for 20 minutes, roughly. Yeah, we are going to prepare for a barbecue roll. That is exactly right. Okay, 20 minutes. Pitch and yaw, Excel command. Enable all RCS. And we will program the computer for the PTC. Right. PTC established. Roll rate has stabilized. There we go. PTC is in. Whee! And we get that one glitched out panel that appears darker than the rest. This sometimes happens when you load in NASP. There it is, and we are definitely looking more far away than we were at the start of the live stream. According to the map, we are sitting right in between South America and Africa. Yep. And yeah, that looks right about right, according to the map. So we've nothing to do for a few hours. If there's any questions, we are open to questions. Of course, for us, a few hours is not going to be a long time, but we are open to questions. So any questions you have, feel free. If you would like a sneak peek of the lunar module, feel free to ask. We're not supposed to be able to enter it, but of course, you know, I can cheat into the lunar module. Just promise we cannot touch anything in the LEM. We cannot. But I can show you guys around. We just cannot touch anything. So, while you guys are putting in your questions, comments, whatever, I am going to be right back. Gonna use the bathroom. All right, we are back. Back from the bathroom. So next up is a fuel cell O2 purge at 34 hours, 45 minutes. We will copy a lunar flyby pad 15 minutes later, and then we will stir our cryo tanks and quote unquote perform potable water chlorination and prepare for sleep. We are at 34 or 31 20 and 34:45 is our next objective point. Funny thing, if we wanted to do a nice TV broadcast on our way to the moon, we can come around and stop right about here. Give us a verb 64. Go like that. Get us on high gain. And then go like this. And we got TV. Now we would bring the camera out, connect it up, and we've got a TV broadcast going. Did you guys want to do day 3 today? We would be checking out the LEM after another potential mid-course correction. If not, I'm going to end the stream very shortly after the rest period starts and watch a little something. And if you guys still want to do that, I'm actually a little bit ahead of schedule, more ahead of schedule than I thought I would be today. So the plan then, if you wanted to do the day 3, would be to do the day 3, and I may have to interrupt that stream just to get a little bit of cleaning done. Some guests are coming over. But I'm ahead of schedule, so if you guys want day 3, it's totally on the table today. Up to you. So completely up to you guys if you guys want to do day 3. If not, I'll head out after the rest period starts. If so, we will continue through to day 3, and maybe we get to LEM familiarization today. All right, we've got our flyby pad, so now we will head up for the pre-sleep checklist. Cryo tank stir. Yes, that is completely normal. You don't have to do anything about it. Later on, they will have you move the heaters and fans to auto. That is when that problem will be mitigated. So you don't have to do anything about it. That came about as a result of their updates to the environmental control system. The different pipes have changed diameters and stuff. So things start off with slightly lower pressures. It's not supposed to happen, but because the fuel cells aren't running at that time, well, fuel cell 2 is running on very low, but fuel cell 1 and 3 aren't running at that time. It is no problem at all. You can just later on, they'll have you switch these to auto. I've never had a problem by just ignoring that. So just mute the alarm and flip her to ACK. Yes, good question. Good question. That's a very recent problem from about 2 months ago that started. Okay, water chlorination. And surge tank's good, repress, all that's good. We'll get our potable water heater off now. And how's our waste tank looking? Definitely in need of that wastewater dump. Yeah, my favorite mission so far, MCC supported, has been Apollo 7. Second favorite's Apollo 12. Manual RTCC calculations, I'd have to say easily Apollo 2. Apollo 2 is such a fun mission. It never happened, but it would have happened if Apollo 1 didn't happen. And it would have done 2 rendezvous with the LEM. So the CSM and the LEM, they launch on Saturn 1s. They come up. So the CSM launches first, and then 1 orbit later, the LEM is going to, or it might be 1 day later, the LEM is going to launch into orbit. And then you rendezvous using the CSM to the LEM. You dock, you do all that stuff. You pull the LEM out, you extract it, and then you fly you do the dock dips burn, you undock, you fly the LEM around, and then you do the rendezvous with the LEM to the CSM, and then LEM active docking, and then you ditch it. And so it would have been Apollo 9 and Apollo 7 combined into one mission. Would have been really cool. I have a video up on how to do the CSM active rendezvous, if that's of interest to anyone. It's the entire thing is in one video. So I believe it's slightly over an hour long. Let me just check on that though. So this is the Apollo GNC tutorials. Yes, an hour and 19 minutes long. From start to finish. It's like Star Wars. Okay. So that's the rest period up. If no one has any requests to do day 3, I think I'm going to stop here. Any requests for day 3? I am not seeing any requests to do a day 3. I probably won't get to the moon landing for quite some time due to needing to go back to school soon. So day 3 Not seeing any requests, then the real question is then do I want to do day 3? And that is going to be that's going to be a no. I will be back after the guests, probably, to do day 3. But I might decide to do just some chill gaming at that point. So no one else. All right, then I think we'll be done. I'll just head forward a little bit in time. Ooh, excuse me. Just head forward a little bit in time and then we'll stop. All right. Well, no yeses, so I guess not.